Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. On this one, we're going to get the jump ship and the mobile fuel base ready to go as they need to be fueled. And we're probably just going to take this little jump jack down for a scouting run so we can really figure out where we want to put the mobile field base once we get down to the planet. Because it would, I guess, not make any sense to go all the way there and then be in the wrong spot and have to run around and do a bunch of stuff before we can, get to work. So, we got a little bit of musical chairs here in the dry dock area, but then after that, we should be good. We can head on down to the planet real quick. So, just using the jump jack, we're gonna use this as a quick sort of boost. I could just slap some ice into this thing just to give it a little bit of hydrogen so it'll be able to move down, but we'll just connect the jump jack and it should have more than enough ice just to get this thing started. But first thing we need to do is actually get the jump ship out of the way, since it is in the way. Let's unlock from the base. We'll pull back with our ions. We'll give it a couple meters a second, and we'll just let that coast for a minute here, as it just needs to coast out of the way. In the meantime, we'll paint off all of the bits here with our deletion red for our build and repairs. Slight little lag there as it was getting rid of the bits and turning it into a different grid. Always lags a little bit when that happens. Continue coasting backwards, you ship. Excellent. Excellent. Should be clear in just a moment here. Because we just need enough room that we can maneuver the whole ship here down and into position. And that should be enough. So we'll just let that stop up. You will hang there for a moment. Now that this ship is here, we can go to its info. We can name it, which will be the... Oh, why are you changing on me? Mobile field base. Okay. And we can convert to a ship. So now it is actually a ship and movable. However, it has no hydrogen, so it cannot move. Which we could just throw in a little bit of ice. Yes. But we'll just plug a ship that has some ice onto it. And by doing that, sort of give it a boost. So if I plug in, the thing comes alive. And we have some hydrogen power on this ship. So while the jump jack is basically being the life support for this, until we can get it plugged in, where we'll be able to get some ice from the base, we can now slowly move this thing into position, which I should probably go up. First rotate this way, then rotate this way, and slide on in to the base's dry dock here. And I don't have a place to put a camera on the far end there, so it's actually kind of annoying. So, yes, this is what we're doing. Which is alright. We just have to see how far away we are, and then work on it. Look at it this way and go, I just need to go up. Oh, really close there. Really close. Up a little bit more, a little bit too much. Oh, there we go. We'll just turn off our dampeners there, let the magneticism of it let us settle. And I believe it's called the front. Yes, I named it there. Connector front. Switch lock, and we will switch to lock into the base. And that should, if everything is correct, we look at the local inventories, all the local stuff, the assemblers are being, basic refineries are being kicked to work. The assemblers are actually working on building stuff, which is awesome, because they are part of the build and repair groups. So they are immediately starting to be used. The turrets are filling up with ammo. The O2 generators are kicking ass. Everything is just working away as it should. So we're going to leave this thing to fuel up for a while because, yeah, it's only at 10% hydrogen. And we're going to want to be able to take like a, you know, an extra few 100,000 hydrogen with us when we go off on a little adventure. And what I'd like to do, I will deposit what I have, as I do have for this world in my trash removal. This is suspended? No, wait. Suspend my trash removal. I do not want trash removal because I want to place some unpowered blocks down on Earth just to be like mark some stuff out. Yes, it'll be fine. Come on, there we go. Just grab some steel plates and that'll be fine. That should be all I need at 250, just in case something happens and I do need to do a little bit of repairs. Then other than that, local inventory for the jump jack. We will refuel its ice up to maximum, disconnect, pull this away, and you can sit there for a moment. Then we need to plug this bad boy back in. And also, got 2 groups for batteries right now. What we need to do is we have incomplete battery. What? We need to get all these batteries onto one group now. Come on, we'll be one group. They're all misnamed and I'll clean that up later. But at least now, I can now put that group of batteries onto recharge on and off. And I can get this big ass ship here plugged in and recharging while I jump away with my jump jack and go and do some exploration. Which it looks like we are getting some build and repair to visit the jump ship here, probably building up that battery. Come on. Align. There you go. And connect and recharge on these local batteries. So they should be yelling for power from the base, fully recharged in 5 minutes. And if I coast forward far enough here, I should hit the artificial gravity of the mobile field base. There you go. I can take a peek inside. A reactor spinning away, doing its thing, charging up the world. Let me take a look at that. Which orientation am I? Here we go. Our batteries are kicking out a whole bunch of power, but that is just going into the jump ship's batteries. But I do like this about the... I believe this is Izzy's script that does this, and I believe this is what's happening right now, is that because we have solar power and because we actually have a fair amount of charge, like we have 595 megawatts stored, we don't need our reactor right now. So it is managing the reactor to be off, or at least suspended at the moment. But once we get low on power, it'll use the reactors and engines that are attached to the base to prop up where solar and stored batteries won't. So that is quite nice. So the base will transfer a whole bunch of power, this whole stuff will get all charged up, and that is absolutely wonderful. And, oh god, moving around there, we can go on our little scouting expedition, which I believe, since I did the upgrades to this jump jack and I added these 3 downwards thruster, this thing flies much better in atmosphere. Although I might just might want to take a little bit of extra ice. Just in case. Although, I will be flying around an ice lake, so I can get some if I need it. But, oh, I don't need that in the landing pad bay. I need that on my person. An extra 6,000 ice will be more than enough. Off we go for adventure! Yay! Time to go and plant some flags in locations on the planet so that we can go and explore them. So as we approach the planet here, it doesn't take too long when you're coasting along at 250 meters per second. If I remember correctly, and we grab our spectator camera, we are wanting to go for the mid-latitudes, and there was a couple lakes that were interesting, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was mainly... There's that lake, and one other one. Ah, yes, this big boy with the island in it. Good thing I popped back. I wouldn't want to run into that asteroid there. So that lake with the island is right that direction, right in the center of my screen. So I'm going to want to go for that guy there. And with my front dampeners off, all I have to do is re-angle my ship, and I get rid of all of the other speed that I had in that direction. Oh, there we go. We're into gravity here. Now, I don't want to go down just yet. I'd like to sort of coast at the top of the gravity well, staying at 39-ish kilometers, and just coast around the planet until I get to a nice spot that is directly above that lake, because then I can easily just drop down from orbit into that lake after jumping there in the future. The question is, where is it? Did I miss? I think I have lost it in the clouds. I believe I'm heading the right direction. Alternatively, I can always set that jump point when I get back. So let us head on down towards the planet here, diving into the atmosphere at incredible speeds, and we'll get there quite soon. We're taking this beautiful opportunity here, getting some nice shots that I can use for the thumbnail later, but now I think we should start thinking about pulling up. We'll use our stronger downward thrusters to kill some of this momentum as we continue to coast forward. And that should be good enough to get us to not crash horribly. And we'll do a nice big turn here out over this ridge line, and then we'll pull back as we lead off speed and lead off altitude. Because any time that we can get lower in this game in the altitude without losing our top speed is good. Like, the fact that we have 250 meters a second of top speed. God, okay, gotta pull up here a little bit. 250 meters of top speed, it means that essentially you can just, like, dive bomb into the atmosphere, and any potential energy you get by getting into lower altitude is sort of eliminated, if you know what I mean. It's a game, so it's not like there is a finite amount of potential and kinetic energy, like all of your potential gets turned into kinetic. Because there is a top speed of 250 meters per second when I've modded it, then it means that, like, as you go down and you continue to lose altitude, you will lose that potential energy, and you'll come on in and you'll be able to use less thrust for braking, which is good. I maybe didn't explain that properly, but if you were trying to do that on Earth, you would just have to bleed off that speed somehow by, like, doing S maneuvers or retro rockets or parachutes or whatever. But here we are. We got a little bit of silver here, so we can mark that up. Earth and AG. Oh, there's also gold there. So let's update that. Because silver likes to spawn with gold, and it likes to do that a lot. And now we can kill some of our potential energy here with our altitude, aim down on the horizon a little bit, and coast our way all the way back to the lake. All the time looking around for stuff. No, that doesn't look like a ore spot. Although this, I believe there's an ore spot right here. Although I'm not sure. My lift thrust is actually very weak. I thought it was going to be stronger, but I actually don't have much lift thrust. So it's taken me a very long time to slowly come down. Maybe my calculation of wanting that extra ice was not the best for me. And maybe I want to figure out how I can add an extra, say, 2 or 3 additional hydrogen thrusters pointing downwards if I want to use my jump jack around on planet. At least with any amount of cargo on it, that's for sure. You can see in our artificial horizon in the top right there, we'll aim a few degrees off of horizon, and that will cause us to just nicely slip forward, no extra fuel required. This is a ore patch, right? That looks ore patchy. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Oh, geez. Okay, don't hit the ground. Silly jump jack. Silver. I want to bet there's gold is here as well, but it's probably buried. Ah, there it is. Yes, there is gold. I am getting lucky for gold in this area, which is good. I can set up multiple gold mines and ship it all back to my my space base, which is exactly what I wanted to do in this area. Mine the shit out of the Earth and ship it back to the asteroid. Pretty much exactly 100 kilometers away. So let's continue searching around for more goodies. So, there seems to be some good amount of resources around here. They've got a couple nodes that I'm still finding around the edge of the lake. As long as I don't crash here. Okay, good. What do I got here? Iron and cobalt. And they always seem to spawn in the same sort of groups. So I would guess that there is also nickel here, because you can see iron, cobalt, nickel, but I'm just not picking it up. So if I get a little closer here and slide around, bam, there's the nickel. Yep. If you find iron and cobalt, you're typically gonna also find the nickel. So I'll copy the iron, cobalt, nickel part of it, go from new from current position, earth, and place it in there. So this is good. We've got magnesium, silicon. Well, yes, we can get silicon just out of rocks, so really it doesn't matter. But magnesium, cobalt, more magnesium over there, then 2 things of gold and silver, more magnesium, silicon, nickel, and cobalt, gold, and that's like in the ice. So that'll be useful to mine out because I'll also get the ice of it. But I think we've got things at least cursory scouted. I mean, there's a few other things I'd like to do, but we can start thinking about where we want to plant our various bases down. Now this is an absolutely beautiful view up here. This this rock, man. I totally have to make myself a little cabin right here. Right here. Like, not a functional thing. I just want to be able to make a little cabin that I can come here and build it into this hillside and have a bench right here that I can come out and sit on a bench and overlook my entire thing that I'm going to build in this area. Oh, there's resources right there beside the little island. Yes, this will be future cabin. Earth. Cabin. Excellent. And what is down at that island? Because I want to go to that island next anyway. Dive down the hill. As this little island, we are going to put a lighthouse of sorts. For fun, because why not? Why not build a lighthouse? What? Go, gold? Gold and silver? Probably. Yep, gold and silver. Excellent, gold and silver right in the middle of everything. AGAU. New from current position. And plug it in there. And this will be where the lighthouse will be. It'll be like my beacon to draw me back into this area. It'll have a lighthouse spinning around, shining spotlights out onto the lake, as well as, most likely, a laser antenna on its roof to connect the local area, because I'll put like a radio antenna here that will do a 50-kilometer radius. So it should cover this entire valley for the local radio antenna, and then a laser antenna back to the base, which is up there. Ah, beautiful. It is just coming together. Earth, this will be the lighthouse. Or radio tower, or whatever I want to make this, but that's where that's going to be. Now, the question is where to land the MFB when it first comes down. We want a place. I'm thinking off the top of my head that there is the iron, cobalt, nickel over there, and getting an iron deposit immediately would be useful, because then I can start building like crazy, because I'll have iron. Now, I wonder, is there... Oh, there is more materials down here on this portion of the ice. What would be perfect is if this pocket of ice right here had iron in it. Because if it did, I can just land on this and use the collect version to just pull the iron out of the ice. So I wouldn't damage the ice surface at all. Because I kind of want to run rovers and stuff across this ice as like patrol rovers. Oh my god, can this game be any nicer to me? There is an iron, cobalt, nickel deposit right above, like right below this thing here. Oh, this is perfect. Absolutely wonderful. Earth, iron, cobalt, nickel. Copy that, new from current position, and paste that in. And this will be the landing point. Landing site. Excellent. Excellent. That's where I want to come down and land with the field base when I bring it over here. Over here, I don't think there's anything. Just some gentle hills. But yeah, I want to have a military complex spanning this entire lake. There will be the cabin up there, the lighthouse, radio tower, whatever it may be. That valley there, I want to have some sort of like drone facility in, or maybe the drone facility could be in the side of the mountain, so that the drones fly in and out of an open hangar in the side of the mountain, and it does cool stuff like that. I don't know, but this entire valley is going to become my dwelling, and I will do everything to it, and it will be mine. But yes, I'm excited for that. I'm really excited. And I think at the moment, I've scouted out enough. I know where I'm going, so I don't have to fly around with the giant ship too long. And unless there is, I believe this is another mineral patch right here. This looks like a mineral patch. Or at least it did for a moment. Might just be some ground discolorations and I'm completely... Nope, it is a mineral patch. It's more gold! Is it? It's got silver and cobalt. Okay, what's that other group for silver and cobalt? AgCO and ice. So it could just be silver and cobalt, which is okay. It's not on the moon, it's on Earth. There we go. Oh god. Don't break the ship. We won't get home. Wouldn't that be a thing? I smash my ship and I'm like 100 kilometers away and I have to just like jetpack back. I could probably make it. Yeah, I'd probably make it. Oh man. I'm so excited. I want to do so much rover stuff here. I want to build giant tanks. Oh, it's gonna be good. Okay. Time for us to GTFO and head on back to the asteroid base under full power and go and get the field base and head on down here. And before I head on back, I must remember I gotta set up my jump coordinate here, which I should be just barely outside of the natural gravity well. So close to getting outside of it here. And 42 kilometers up. Come on, when do I get outside of gravity here? Is that like 45? Should be really close because I'm at 0.05 gravity. There, outside. So I'll come up to a stop here. A little bit of coasting, but that is fine. You always want to have a little bit of buffer so that way your jump ships and stuff don't immediately fall into gravity. And let us make new from current position. Earth approach. Perfect. Perfect. And now we can jump to here. And all we need to do is aim for the asteroid base, turn off our backwards dampeners with our thrusters, push to 250 meters a second, and then coast. Save all that fuel. And here we are coasting into the base. We got 136 meters a second, but we're aiming off to the side, so if we slip on by, no harm, no foul, we'll just be able to head on back. Which will kill some of our momentum here, as we are just about home. Now, the base here should be pretty much ready to go, if I'm not mistaken. It's been plugged in. Real time for me since I plugged it in has been like 50 minutes an hour, although of course I've edited stuff of that out for you guys because you don't want to see me flying around Earth-like just going, ooh, gold for an hour. But this should be good for us to connect onto and get snapped in. Perfect. Just the right size to land on one of those. And I want to turn my dampeners off on the ship. Let me just confirm. Yep, they are off. As don't want them to fight against it, but we have a perfect sized jump jack landing pad. That is beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Now, how are your tanks doing? Can I see the little progress bars? Not really. Alright, we'll just look through the thing here. Tank, hydrogen tanks locally, 41%, which, I mean, realistically, considering this isn't going to do very much flying, it's just going to fly there and then just land. This is probably more than enough for now. So we can take this ship with us. We can go. Now the question is, we have the jump jack for scouting and flying around and such. Is there anything else I need? I am afraid this thing does absolutely not have enough downwards thrust. Oh geez, it has no dampeners on. Ah! God damn. This thing doesn't have enough downwards thrust to fly because it only has 3 small thrusters. This is a space fighter, so there's no way this would this will work. So we should just dock this back up and leave this bad boy here, because if I take it down to the planet, it is staying there. It's not getting off the ground until I rebuild it. So I must build a atmospheric fighter. Now you are ion. You are not going to work on the planet, so you're staying here. You are hydrogen, but you're shitty because you only have a few bits of hydrogen pointing downwards. We can remedy that. Let us quickly turn on our crosshair so we can actually see what we are grinding down. And that is going into here. This can easily... Okay, this block right here. And this block right here. That gives us access to more ports, which we can put on more thrusters. And the color here is this red, not my deletion red, but a different red, so that way it's not being deleted. We can grab some more hydrogen thrusters, slap them on there. Things will be built up lickety-split. And realistically, we can make these like full-on thruster clusters like that is. Whoa, God. So bright. Alternatively, if we really ever need it, we could take this spotlight off, and we have a large cargo port here. We can easily access that to put on a large thruster pointing downwards. Although that would increase its profile a whole bunch, which kind of sucks. Alternatively, we can leave these as the only hydrogen thrusters, and we can add some atmospherics to this thing. Although this only has small batteries, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pop in and disconnect it here to see what this thing has. Yeah, just 2 small batteries, so it wouldn't have that much energy to do that thrusteriness, which would not be a good thing. Yeah, this ship probably just needs more hydrogen thrust. Where else can I put it beyond putting that large one? Because I don't want to do that, because that would look ugly as sin. Well, I'll definitely add these to the side. Oh. That... Oh, because these are tubes. See, this is why I do full-on conveyor junctions for a lot of my builds, because tubes don't have structure to them. So when you do that, the armor falls off. Put the junction back in there. And so then realistically, I can make this an entire... Since I'm putting junctions here, I can make this an entire, like, wall of thrusters. Easy peasy. Now that is a thruster bank. Oh yeah, that'll be more than enough for this thing to fly around. Oh yeah. Give me those great big thruster arms. This thing will be maneuverable as hell now. Now the only problem with it is it has no brakes. So we need to fix that, or else this thing will just it'll take off and we won't be able to stop going forward. Because it definitely can move left and right. It can't move back, forward and back very quickly. And it definitely can't point downwards in mine. So if I was going like this in mining, yeah, that wouldn't work. So it needs some backwards thrust for sure. Well, let's take this off. We don't need those blast doors. I guess take this thruster off, and we will replace it with more junction to then get more thruster. Where it's getting uglier, but that's okay. It is fine if it is ugly, as long as it functions. Why? Why are you not working? Hello, thruster. We power cycle the ship. Now you're working. Okay, good. Sometimes it just needs a little power cycle. And then on the back here, we've got 3 thrusters pointing forwards. We can have 3 thrusters pointing backwards. It's ugly, but who cares? It's gonna work. We can always grab some of that and slap on some tips on here to de-uglify it a little bit. It's a little bit de-uglified, but now it's going to be able to fly in atmosphere quite nicely. Look at all that thrust. Ah, beautiful. So we want to take this thing. Oh, should I even take this thing? Is this thing even worth it because it doesn't have a downwards connector? Or should I just totally redesign this ship? That is actually a valid question. Because maybe I'll take it for now just to get things started. And then I'll redesign a ship for downwards thrust. Or use my old... I have a ship, right? Don't I have a miner? Here. Miner. Yeah, I have a atmospheric miner. So I can just use that. And adapt that into a stronger atmospheric miner that is drone capable. And then I can set up a little mining drone. It will be beautiful. But for now, let's... Dear God, I can't drive this thing when it's like this. Let's park this up and take it with us. And these 2 ships should be more than enough for what I need to do. Oh God, freaking park. So difficult to drive something that's got a connector on the butt. Connect. And dampeners off. Should be more than enough. And do our little bit of ship musical chairs. We'll pull this thing away from the base. Stop it up there. We'll go to our control panel and we'll go for the we got a connector on the rear. We will quickly unlock that and then move down. Get out of that thing's way. As I don't think we need to jump this thing. It can just coast its way. Not that far away from Earth here. And set these off of recharge. And coast this thing back into position. I shouldn't have to do anything except coast on in. As everything should have already been aligned, considering it was a straight line through the other ship, and I was connected to it through this, so this should align just perfectly. It is beautiful. Coasting in at 0.5 meter per second. Where is the base? Where is the base? Ah, there we go. Oh, got here just in time. Oh, it's a little off, but that is okay. Clash. And then just a little move up. Looks like it. Nope. Oh, come on. Which way do you need me to move? This way? There you go. Lock to the base. Recharge the batteries on this jump ship. And the jump ship should be ready to rock. Oh, it is. It's totally ready to rock whenever I want to. And the mobile field base, it is ready to fly down to the planet. Off we go with a giant base towards our approach here. Earth approach, 68 kilometers away, and then down to the base spots. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. We are off on our adventure now with everything we need to do some basic building, and it's kind of like a soft reset. We're heading down there with only our basic refineries and assemblers and survival kits, so we'll have to build up some new stuff and produce anything we need in situ there. We won't be able to produce the gold. We'll ship it back to the main base, but it's going to be fun. But that is going to be for the future. For now, thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.